Have you been demanding that your creativity pay off in some way, Virgo? That might be why you're experiencing a little bit of... Does that make sense? Do you speak gesture? Hi Virgo, welcome to Zero's Journey. I'm Madeline, if we haven't met before, and here on this channel we use a compass of courage, curiosity, compassion, and creativity to get where it is we're trying to go by being exactly right where the fuck we are. And in the spirit of that, Virgo, let's go a little deeper into the message Spirit is giving you as kind of an orientation point. Your North Star to come back to and orient yourself toward again and again this month for your highest good. My prayer is always that orienting yourself to this brings you the most peace, abundance, joy, love, etc. possible for you this month. And Spirit is asking you to get creative. And they're asking you to get creative in quite a, how do I say, specific is the wrong word, but in a certain way. So often, especially nowadays in the hellscape that is modern capitalism, we expect our creativity, our gifts, our skills, our hobbies to translate to money, service, productivity, etc. I'm on here reading tarot cards, right? And it's something that I do for a living. I'm not immune, and I'm also not suggesting that this is a negative thing in and of itself. When the two things intersect, it can be a beautiful thing. But if, as Spirit was saying in the beginning, for example, you are... Ooh, now Spirit's giving me a different metaphor. Okay, the way they were saying, like, if you were expecting your creativity to make you money or do something, lift something for you, it might be what's keeping it from flourishing. So now what Spirit is showing me is somebody, planting a seed, and the little seedling, it's so beautiful, it's young, it's tiny and thin, and it starts to pick up and unfold, and the person immediately prunes something off it, and it's like, wait, we're not at the pruning stage yet, we're not at the harvest, we're at the, oh, this is delicate, let's make sure it's well nourished, let's make sure it's well contained, it's safe, etc. It's not about getting something out of it, if that makes sense. And whether you consider yourself a creative person or not, Virgo, creative is like art. It can be anything. You can be a person who loves the art of arranging a room. You don't necessarily have to be somebody who paints pictures or sings songs, although you may well be. You can enjoy the art of organizing things in a way that makes them really efficient and enjoyable to use. You know what I'm saying? So, creativity is also about problem solving. It's about looking at the way things are right now and not necessarily like, oh, how I want this to be different, but maybe how I could use the things that I have in a little bit of a different way, or how I could arrange them in such a way that they become a little more useful or efficient. Virgo things. Okay. Spirit is saying embrace what your what the sign just before you, Leo, does. Leo is the sign of the child, and when a child is painting a picture, they're not worrying about what everybody else is going to think of it. They're enjoying the fuck out of the process of streaking that page with their favorite colors, or making that gigantic sun with a teeny tiny little house. They're not worried about the scale. They're not worried about people going, houses don't look like that, the sun isn't that color. They're like, this is my vision. I enjoyed this so much. I enjoyed making this, and I hope you enjoyed looking at it as much as I enjoyed making it. Look at the card that flew out as I was saying that, Virgo. 9 of Pentacles. Ironically, when we're operating from that place of like, I enjoyed making this made me feel energetic and excited, and so I wanted to share it with everybody else, then it does become, as Spirit was referring to earlier, the kind of thing where there is a beautiful intersection between what you love to do and that thing being able to bring you more value and more resources. Everything is an energy exchange. Okay, well, we got your first card. Let's keep going, and we'll see where she lands in the spread. All right, Spirit. Clearly you are already ready to talk to Virgo people. So we want to look at January, Spirit. January for Virgo people. Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Virgo rising and dominant people. What do they need to know, Spirit? This month for their highest good, for their greatest joy, peace, abundance, and sense of self, sense of clarity, sense of efficacy. Virgo, Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Virgo rising. Spirit, what do they need to know about where they are, about their past, and how those things are creating the trajectory of their future? What kind of influences are around them? What kind of energies do you want to make them aware of, within and without, for their highest good? Okay. Let's see what we got. Okay. I feel excited for you, Virgo. Spirit is talking about, I wasn't expecting this. Spirit is talking about your sacral chakra. Oh. So your sacral chakra is right in the pelvic cradle. So, they do refer to your genitals and all that. Let's not be squeamish about it. I mean, what is more creative on the human body than our genitals? It literally helps create life, right? And it is also an area of great passion and pleasure when it is used in a way that is good for everybody involved, right? So Spirit is talking about pleasure practices. Spirit's talking about feeling free and loved in your own body, in your own container. Sexual energy is creative energy. And a lot of us, when we go through maybe a period where we're not necessarily sleeping with people, or we don't have a partner or whatever, a great thing to do is redirect that sexual energy into creative energy. Dance, write poetry, cook, all kinds of things that can come out of that furnace. Before I get myself in trouble with YouTube and get this fucking shit censored somehow, let's get into your tarot reading. Let's get into it, Virgo. I shuffled these cards to see where she wanted to land. Spirit knew where they wanted her. First things first, right out front. All right. Big Virgo energy. I was exactly picturing this card when I said moving things around that you do have, rearranging the pieces, looking at them in a more creative way, and that creating infinite, you can see this infinity symbol she's dancing with, infinite possibilities. Gosh, this is beautiful, Virgo. Wow. Oh, it keeps getting better. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. I love it. And I'm curious how many of you Virgos have any Gemini placements, because I am seeing some similar themes. Not completely the same, but if you have any Gemini placements, you may want to go watch that video and see how things braid together for you. So, center of your reading. Earth sign Virgo, all the pentacles all around you. This is certainly a time when you are focused on what you're making. Making money, making things, making projects, making skills, making progress, tangible things, time, effort, money, etc. So Nine of Pentacles is also about being a self-employed or very independent or successful single person. Doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be single, and as a matter of fact, I see some of you as being in really wonderful partnerships, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But it's more about standing on your own 2 feet, feeling like, damn, I'm good. I'm so proud of myself, of what I've grown. I know what I want to work on. I know what isn't the priority right now, and that has been part of what has helped me be successful, etc. 2 of Pentacles, thinking on your feet, being very nimble, being adaptable. Virgo is a mutable sign. Your adaptability, your ability to receive new information and alter your approach or adjust is one of your superpowers. So, look at the way that you spend your time, your money, your effort, your energy. I see you making good plans. I see you making good investments, again, with time, with energy, with money. Whew, let's come to where you find yourself. More pentacles. King of Pentacles. So, king, queen, nothing to do with sex and gender, everything to do with personality type. I feel like some of you might even be buying property or houses, things like that, like major investments that you're going to be really excited about, or you may be making some long-term plans on that type of level. So, the kings, right, have to do with mastery. The queens are more internally focused. The kings are about what's happening here in the tangible world. Can everybody see the money that I've made? Can everybody see the project I've completed? That type of thing. So, how are you managing your money? How are you managing your skills? And how could you behave more like a king? I see you doing quite well. So this isn't about like, hey, you need to step two. This is like, oh, you're already in a really exceptional place. This willingness to be creative and this willingness to leave behind what isn't working behind you, sitting in the past, death, closing the door on things, letting things go, letting things die, remembering that in nature, when things die, the energy isn't wasted. It nourishes the next thing that's about to grow. So when we actually really let things go and die and fully release, they help inform the next phase of our life. They offer us wisdom or red flags to look out for or whatever. They offer us something as long as we are willing to look for it. So, in the past, death, crowning your reading, Eight of Cups, leaving old stagnant energy, ways, patterns, habits, substances, etc. behind. What doesn't nourish me, what doesn't help me grow, I am willing to sacrifice in order to get what I want. Because sitting in your future, more pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, looking at what you've created, perhaps over the course of this month, let's say, and saying, now, what if I made this little adjustment? Because Seven of Pentacles is yet another card of looking at what you're growing, what's doing really well, what's giving you a return on interest. So, my new habit of working out has given me so much more energy. I enjoy my days more, I'm up longer, I get more done. That is paying off extremely well. Now, this other habit of ordering Uber Eats every other day has completely diminished my bank account, and it's really kind of like made me feel not so great about myself and has resulted in a lot of wasted food in my fridge. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's not about shaming, blaming, judging ourselves. It's about just bringing consciousness to it. Oh, when I do this, it makes me feel good. When I do this, it makes me feel like shit. When I do this, it's super worth it. When I do this, it's super not. Okay, cool. Moving forward, I'm going to nurture more of this and do less of that. You feel me? And what that leads to is this crazy, incredible new beginning. When we level up, it involves getting in over our head. And that's what Spirit is saying for you. So making changes and adjustments and kind of being bold, it invites you to new levels of mastery. Now let's come here to this lovely foundational spot. Four of Wands, what's going on within you or the hidden factor. Some of you have a really wonderful support system. For some of you, I do feel that this is partner. For others of you, it could be like I live with my family, or I just bought myself a home, or I'm really creating a nest for myself where I'm living. But one way or another, the happy home and the happy kind of support system, or, the chosen family. It doesn't have to be necessarily biological, but your chosen family seems to be gathered around you in support. And again, I encourage you, even if you are a Virgo who's like lives alone, doesn't even have family or things like that, I totally recognize that that is a thing. Think about how you can make your home and the place that you do your creative or your skillful work more homey, more warm, more welcoming, more joyful. Four of Wands is a wonderful card. It's one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. Whenever I see it, it's a wonderful sign. It's a wonderful sign of feeling good, feeling embraced, feeling supported, joy, feeling like there's something to celebrate. Now, energy around you. High Priestess. She has a lot in common with Get Creative. The High Priestess doesn't, okay, so Spirit is talking about the phenomena of we can get an idea, right? And we can get really excited about this idea, this initiative, this thing we're gonna do or we wanna create or whatever. And we can like tell social media about the idea. And not to be, crass, I know I'm talking to Virgos here, but it's a little bit like jerking off. It's like I went ahead and jerked off on social media about the idea rather than making sweet love to the actual project, depositing that yang energy into my project, and then this project has this chance to develop and have a life. Do you know what I'm saying? Was that too far, Virgo? Let me know in the comments. I know you will. The key to your reading is commitment to the awakening. You have heard the call. You know something to be true. That's the other thing about the High Priestess. She knows when something rings true, and she's willing to see it for what it is. She doesn't react strongly. She doesn't freak out in either direction. If it's a great thing, she doesn't freak out and turn cartwheels. If it's a bad thing, she doesn't freak out and, buy a bunch of toilet paper. She's like, okay, intuitive download received. I am going to act accordingly. I'm going to act like a person who's awake. I'm going to act like a person who knows what their commitments and their goals and their future ideals are. I see you having a pretty fucking fantastic month, Virgo. I see you making some smart investments. And I see you receiving a return on investment. Allow yourself to feel how valuable what you create is. And show up for that. All right. That's a way to end a reading, I guess. I hope that that is helpful for you, Virgo. And I hope that that was as fun for you as it is for me. I appreciate you spending your time here, and I hope that it pays for itself many, many, many times over. If you ever want to get a personal reading and go deeper, the info to do that, or follow me on socials, or join the Discord and just hang out with cool people who we like to talk about cards and astrology and things. All of that is in the info box below, and I would always love to hear your stories, your comments, your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate you, Virgo. Send to a friend if you enjoyed this, subscribe if you vibe, and if I don't see you in another video before then, Virgo, then I hope I will see you in your February reading. So bye!